Hello everyone, my name is Nichols Churchill. I was born in 1833 into a middle-class family, and growing up I worked in the family garden, I made clothes, and I was the local teacher. Working as a teacher, I made $25 a year, and this gave me the mindset that I could provide for myself economically without the help of a man. But I still married in the 1850s because it was what women were expected to do, and I gave birth to my daughter, but my husband passed away a few years later, and I was forced to move west and leave my daughter behind to travel write and make money in this profession. While travel writing, I had numerous experiences of how women were confined to the domestic sphere. And one instance was at a Navy hospital where it was a monopoly of men working there. There were no women. And I asked the physician why this was, and he said because women weren't capable of this kind of work. And this was common in the West, and I decided to write about this in my travel narratives. I published these narratives in Chicago, and I was on my way back to California when I stopped in Denver and noticed how well the climate was to help my health because I was ill at the time, and I decided to stay. While in Denver, I was able to complete my lifelong dream of writing women's rights newspapers. I published a monthly newspaper called the Colorado Antelope, and then later I changed it to a weekly newspaper called the Queen Bee because it became so successful. While writing this newspaper, I voiced my opinion on why women deserved equal rights because they were naturally equal to men, and they deserved social equality, domestic equality, and political equality. I did, however, differentiate from other leading women suffragists during the time because I did things my own way. I did not ask permission from a leading suffragist such as Susan B. Anthony before writing my newspaper. I just wrote it. I was eccentric and passionate, and when a man would denounce my paper, I would curse his name and tell him why he was wrong. I also did not agree with the Women's Christian Temperance Union because they bow down to a male-dominant clergy, where I did not believe that males should dominate anything. Women should have a voice in all things, even the clergy. And also, they placed too much of an emphasis on temperance and not enough on suffrage. Even though I wasn't at the suffrage convention in 1893, I played an influential part in Colorado gaining the women's suffrage as its first state. In 1877, Colorado voted on women's suffrage and it was denied. I moved there in 1879, wrote my papers, and in 1893, when the vote came the second time, Colorado gained suffrage. And this also translated to the national suffrage movement because Colorado was the first state in the Union to have women's suffrage. And we set the tone for the rest of the country, and I was influential in doing this to my newspapers that advocated for women being naturally equal and they deserve equal rights.